All right, guys, let's get into some tech topics this morning. Rahim Allani joining me in studio. It's nice to have someone in studio for a change. I think everyone's getting a little sick of Zoom after a year of this nonsense that we've been dealing with. Managing Director at OCI Groups here in Toronto, going to talk about some small cap opportunities here in Canada. But in general, we've seen some interesting stories over the past week or so in the tech world. To start things off, some on the security side of things. I mean, everybody seems to be talking about this NFT technology as well.
Yeah, the tech sector has been on fire. You guys are speaking about it this morning. Roblox, the Bumble things going on. Coupang went public today out of South Korea. Pandemic-related stocks that have done, or opportunities that have done well, just with what's happening in the world, like you said. So tech stocks have been, on fire, as it were. GameStops of the world have brought a lot of attention to the tech world as well.
Yeah.
So now people are looking at smaller cap plays, like, hey, I may have missed the GameStop play, but what's the next one that's undervalued or underappreciated or needs some love in the tech space? And there's a lot going on. And then, like you said, NFTs, the non-fungible token space, security breaches. Microsoft's gotten hacked, Star Alliance got hacked. The government of Norway, I think, got hacked. Tesla's gotten hacked. Yeah. So there's a lot of things in both those worlds that are happening. Yeah,
that story on Tesla yesterday we mentioned, very interesting. I mean, it wasn't all in their factory, but 150,000 cameras included in that hack. Yeah. I mean, they were talking schools, libraries, things like that, even their factories. So let's get into some opportunities. And this is the point here, guys. We're talking about maybe companies that are just on the way up that we haven't heard of yet, and opportunities that lie within those. So let's get into a couple here that we can talk about on the security side of things first, which is SOLV, the ticker here in Canada.
Yeah. So Solvable Solutions Inc. It's a company we invested into pre-IPO. They went public a couple of weeks back, slow, steady right now. But something that we thought was going to be interesting simply because of what's happening in the world of security. Again, just with everything that just happened with all of these hacks, we think security is going to be the next level because there could be work from home situations. There's a lot of online transactions taking place. Their ability to verify data before it goes in between intermediaries and the speed at which they can do it really drew our attention. The most that you could do is sort of a Visa at 40,000 transactions a second. These guys were clicking at 150,000 transactions a second, which blew our minds away. So we thought, you know what, let's give it a whirl, and we invested in. And I think as the company starts to get out news, they've released a couple of patent announcements, which have been interesting as well. Let's see where they go, but that's an early stage story that we think as they'll get a US listing, I think, at some point in the near future. Once those things start to happen, I think you'll see a lot more progress.
Yeah, so we want to be, talking about these names that could possibly get the uplisting to a bigger exchange before that even happens, to have an idea. The next one we're going to mention here, recent guest on the show, Ventrapoint, VPT, the ticker here.
Yeah, I think we just picked up that one because you put me on the spot last time saying what was my tech pick, and that one worked out pretty well. And I think when we talked about it was about 8 cents, and it's popped off to about 45 cents. And it's been one of the most active traders on the venture, also trades in the US. They put out some good news since we were last on. Most recently, they had a couple of sales orders. They've verified their manufacturing status, and importantly as well, in China, their partner there got it out into the healthcare world in China and has gotten initial sales in China as well. So those things have also helped maintain the stock, and it's kicked between 40 and 50. They cleaned up a bunch of warrants that were there at 10 and 12 cents. So those are all gone. The company's fully cashed up. Debt's gone. There are a bunch of warrants at 50 cents, so something to look out for. There might be a trading opportunity in between there.
Interesting.
And if they have more news coming, you might be able to play around what's happening with the warrants at 50.
So VPT, possible uplisting for that one?
It's listed on the OTC as well.
Okay, already.
So it's on both.
Let's talk about Liquid. What is it? LIQD?
LQID.
LQID.
Yeah, that was one that we liked because of the fact that it's in that NFT space.
Right.
It does have. The best way to look at it is the non-fungible tokens. You've got Gronk, who just signed a deal yesterday as the first NFL player to have one. NBA has the deal with GameStop. GameStop has generated $230 million in revenue off of these NFTs. And so we thought it was interesting on the LQID side. They have the NFTs. They will add an augmented reality piece to it, which they just announced. But the way to look at it is Google gave away search so that you could get the advertising data. And what they're saying is we'll help you with the NFT side, the augmented reality side on the NFTs, to be able to get your verification stuff later on, and that's where their big play is.
It's amazing this technology is growing at the pace that it is, and people like Gronk, people like artists too. I think the artist connection, and especially for the music industry.
Yes, Steve Aoki just did.
It's going to be amazing, just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Rahim Allani, OCI Groups, always a pleasure to see you, and happy to have you in studio for a change, talking some tech opportunities, guys, here in the Canadian side of things. We'll try and do that a little bit more often for you, and just get you exposed to some opportunities that could be under the radar and still to come.